The billionaire's mansion looked perfect, but inside, it was lifeless, like a palace without a soul. Ethan Steele, one of the richest men in the city, had everything, except happiness. His wife was gone, and his little daughter was growing up without love. He thought money could protect her, but money couldn't cook her meals or kiss her for. The Steele mansion stood on the edge of the city like a fortress, grand, imposing, yet strangely hollow. Its marble floors gleamed, its chandeliers sparkled, its gardens stretched for acres. But inside, silence echoed louder than any laughter. Ethan Steele, one of the wealthiest men in America, stepped out of his sleek black car as the evening sky burned orange. His driver opened the door, but Ethan barely acknowledged him. He walked with the calm, commanding stride of a man who owned empires, but carried the invisible weight of emptiness on his shoulders. At 40, Ethan had everything most men dreamed of: money, power, reputation. Yet what he didn't have was the one thing he once thought he could never lose: family warmth. His wife Amelia had died 5 years ago, leaving him alone with their daughter Lily. Since then, Ethan had thrown himself into work. It was easier to conquer boardrooms than face the silence of an empty home. But deep down, a guilt gnawed at him. He had left Lily to grow up in a world of luxury, but without love. Part 2. The Glow of Laughter. As Ethan entered the mansion, his polished shoes clicking against the marble, he expected the usual: silence. But tonight was different. He paused, hearing something he hadn't in years: laughter. Soft, melodic laughter mixed with a child's giggles. It floated down the hallway, warm and alive, drawing him toward it. He followed the sound and found himself at the entrance of the kitchen, a place he rarely entered. There, bathed in the golden light of hanging lamps, was a sight that froze him in place. His daughter Lily, barely 8 years old, stood on a little stool beside Maya, the black maid he had hired 6 months ago. Maya's hands were guiding Lily's small ones as they stirred a bowl of flour and eggs. The girl's face was smeared with dough, her eyes shining with joy. Lily, giggling, "Maya, look, I didn't spill this time." Maya, laughing softly, "That's because you're learning, sweetheart. Cooking is about patience and love." Ethan's chest tightened. Love, a word that had become foreign in this house. Part 3. The Cold Interruption. Ethan stepped inside, his deep voice breaking the spell. "Ethan, what's going on here?" Lily turned, her face lighting up. Lily, "Daddy!" She jumped off the stool and ran to him, her little hands sticky with dough as she hugged his legs. Ethan stiffened, not because of the mess, but because her hug felt so rare these days. Maya straightened, nervous but dignified. "Maya, Mr. Steele, I was just teaching Lily how to cook dinner. She wanted to try—" Ethan, cutting her off. "That's not your responsibility. Your job is to clean and keep order, not to play chef." Lily's little face fell. "Lily, but Daddy, Maya said cooking is love. Mommy used to cook for you, didn't she?" Ethan froze. The air seemed to leave the room. He hadn't heard Amelia's name spoken aloud in so long. It struck him like a knife. Part 4. Maya's Courage. Maya, sensing his silence, took a step closer, her voice gentle but firm. "Maya, Mr. Steele, forgive me if I've overstepped, but Lily doesn't need another maid. She doesn't need another toy or dress. She needs memories. Memories of love, not loneliness." Ethan's eyes narrowed slightly. No one spoke to him this way, not in the office, not in his world of power. But there was no arrogance in her voice, only truth. Maya, softly, "I lost my own mother when I was Lily's age. The only thing that kept her alive in my heart were the small things she taught me, like how to cook. I just wanted Lily to have something like that too." For a moment, silence filled the kitchen. Ethan looked at Maya, really looked at her. Her dark eyes carried both strength and sadness. Her hands, though rough from work, moved with tenderness when she touched Lily's shoulder. And he realized she wasn't just teaching his daughter to cook. She was giving her back something he himself had stolen: warmth. Part 5. The Shocking Question. Lily tugged his sleeve, looking up with pleading eyes. "Lily, "Daddy, can Maya stay? Can she always teach me?" Ethan swallowed hard. His empire had given him everything but the ability to answer that question. Slowly, he turned to Maya, his voice quieter than usual. "Ethan, Maya, would you teach me too?" Maya blinked in shock. Lily gasped. Ethan, almost whispering, "I don't know how to be what she needs. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to make her laugh. But I want to learn." Maya's lips parted, her eyes softening. She had never expected the cold billionaire to say those words, and in that moment, something shifted in the mansion. The next evening, Ethan surprised everyone by coming home earlier than usual. No late meetings, no excuses. For the first time in years, he wanted to be home, not for his empire, but for his daughter. When he entered the kitchen, Lily squealed with delight. "Lily, Daddy, you came in time. Maya's teaching me how to make cookies." Maya looked up, her eyes flickering with surprise. Ethan loosened his tie and walked toward them. His presence filled the room. But tonight, he wasn't the cold master. He was just a man trying to be a father. "Ethan, so, where do I start?" Lily clapped. Maya hid a smile. Maya, "Well, sir, you start by washing your hands." Ethan arched a brow but obeyed. For the first time, Lily saw her father rolling up his sleeves, standing by her side. And when Ethan cracked his first egg, the shell fell straight into the bowl. Lily burst out laughing. "Lily, Daddy, you're worse than me." For the first time in years, Ethan laughed with her. Cooking became their ritual. Each night, Ethan would join them in the kitchen. The billionaire who once sat at the head of a silent dining table now stood with flour on his suit, struggling with recipes while Maya patiently guided him. Maya, smiling softly. "No, not like that. Gently, Mr. Steele. You're kneading the dough like it's a business deal." Ethan, grinning faintly. "Well, it's the only thing I know how to win." Maya, "Cooking isn't about winning. It's about giving." Her words lingered with him. Sometimes when Lily ran off to fetch a spoon or wash her hands, Ethan and Maya were left standing close, too close. Their hands brushed while reaching for the same bowl. Their eyes met longer than they should have. Neither spoke of it, but both felt it. One night, as Maya prepared a simple soup, Ethan stopped her. "Ethan, wait. That smell, it reminds me of her." Maya looked at him curiously. "Ethan, Amelia, my wife. She used to make soup like that when I came home late." For a moment, the mask of the powerful billionaire cracked. His eyes softened, his voice trembling with memory. "Ethan, she used to say, food was her way of keeping me alive. I thought I'd never feel that again." Maya's hand froze on the spoon. Slowly, she placed it down. "Maya, Mr. Steele, love doesn't disappear when people do. Sometimes it just waits for us to remember." Ethan's gaze held hers, and for the first time, he didn't feel like the master of the house. He felt like a man being seen. One Friday evening, Lily insisted they all sit together for dinner. The long, polished dining table, usually occupied by Ethan alone, now held 3 plates. The food wasn't perfect. The bread was a little burnt, the pasta uneven. But Lily's smile lit the room brighter than any chandelier. "Lily, this is the best dinner ever." Ethan chuckled, watching her eat with joy. He glanced at Maya across the table. For once, she wasn't just the maid, she was part of something bigger. Later that night, when Lily was asleep, Ethan lingered in the dining hall. Maya was clearing the plates when he spoke. "Ethan, you've changed this house." Maya looked up. "Ethan, it used to feel like a museum. Now, it feels like a home." Maya hesitated, then whispered, "Maya, sometimes all a home needs is laughter." Ethan's heart tightened. Laughter, something he thought he had buried with his wife. Now it was back, because of Maya. But with change came confusion. Ethan lay awake at night, wrestling with emotions he hadn't allowed himself to feel in years. He told himself Maya was just a maid, just an employee, but his heart betrayed him. He noticed the way her eyes crinkled when she laughed, the way she always put Lily first, the quiet strength she carried. One evening, as they stood alone in the kitchen, their hands brushed again while reaching for a spoon. This time, neither pulled away immediately. Their eyes locked. The air thickened. Ethan's throat tightened. He wanted to speak, to confess the storm inside him. But before he could, Lily's voice rang from the hall. "Lily, Daddy, Maya, come quick." The moment broke, slipping into silence. But Ethan knew something had changed forever. Change in the steel mansion did not go unnoticed. The staff whispered when they saw Ethan spending evenings in the kitchen, flour on his sleeves, laughter in his voice. The cold billionaire was softening, and all because of the maid. One afternoon, Ethan's business partner, Charles, visited unexpectedly. As he entered, he saw Maya teaching Lily how to roll dough, Ethan kneeling beside them, smiling. Later, Charles pulled Ethan aside. "Charles, Ethan, what are you doing?" "She's the help. This doesn't look good for your image." Ethan's jaw tightened. Once he would have agreed, but now the thought of Maya being reduced to just the help angered him. "Ethan, my daughter is smiling again, Charles. If you have a problem with that, it's your problem, not mine." Charles shook his head. "Charles, careful, old friend. You're letting feelings blind you." But Ethan already knew the truth. He wasn't blind. For the first time in years, he was seeing clearly. Part 12. The Night of Rain. One stormy evening, lightning cracked the sky, and the mansion shook with thunder. Lily had gone to bed early, frightened by the weather. Ethan found Maya in the kitchen, cleaning up. The power flickered, plunging them into candlelight. For a moment, the world outside disappeared, leaving just the two of them. Ethan, quietly, "Maya, why do you do all this? You go beyond what I pay you for." "Why?" Maya hesitated, her hands tightening around a dishcloth. "Maya, because Lily needs more than money. She needs someone to remind her what love feels like." Ethan stepped closer, his voice low. "Ethan, and what about me?" Maya froze. Her heart pounded, but she forced herself to answer. "Maya, you need to remember you're more than a billionaire. You're a father, a man, someone capable of love, if only you'd let yourself." Their eyes locked. The storm outside raged, but inside a different storm brewed. Silent, undeniable, pulling them closer. For a moment, Ethan leaned in, their breaths mingling. But then Maya stepped back, shaking her head. "Maya, I can't. You're my employer. This isn't right." And just like that, she walked away, leaving Ethan standing in the flickering candlelight, his chest aching with something he could no longer deny. Part 13. The Breaking Point. The next day, Maya avoided him. She kept her distance, polite but distant, burying herself in chores. Ethan felt the absence like a wound. That evening, he found her in the garden, sitting quietly under the stars. He approached, his voice rough. "Ethan, why are you pushing me away?" Maya looked at him, her eyes glistening. "Maya, because us, it can't work. People will never understand. To them, I'll always be the maid. And you're the man who owns the world." Ethan, firmly, "Let them talk. I don't care about them. I care about my daughter. I care about you." Maya's breath caught. No one had ever said those words to her, not with such weight, such truth. But before she could respond, Lily's voice called from the window. "Lily, Daddy! Maya, come inside. The cookies are ready." The moment slipped away again. Part 14. The confession. Days later, Ethan made a decision. After a long board meeting, he canceled his usual dinner with investors and rushed home. He found Maya in the kitchen with Lily, both laughing as they dusted cookies with sugar. He stood there for a moment, watching them, the life he never thought he could have again. Then he spoke. "Ethan, Lily, sweetheart, can you give me a moment with Maya?" Lily tilted her head, then skipped out, leaving them alone. Ethan stepped closer, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "Ethan, Maya, you've given me back something I thought I lost forever. My daughter smiles because of you. This house breathes because of you. And me," he pauses, swallowing hard, "I feel alive because of you." Maya's eyes widened, tears brimming. "Maya, Ethan, don't say this. It's too dangerous." "Ethan, no." The real danger is letting you slip away. I don't care what people think. I don't care about the whispers. All I care about is what's in this room, me, you, and Lily. For a long moment, silence hung between them. Then slowly, Maya's tears fell. She stepped forward, her voice breaking. Maya, I never meant to fall, but I did. I love you, Ethan. I love you both. Ethan closed the distance, pulling her into his arms. For the first time in years, he felt whole. Part 15. A new recipe for love. Weeks later, the steel mansion was no longer a hollow palace. The kitchen had become its heart. Mornings began with the smell of pancakes and laughter. Evenings ended with stories and warmth. And at the center of it all was not just a maid, not just a billionaire, but a family, rebuilt from love, not wealth. One evening, Lily sat at the table grinning. Lily, Daddy, Maya says we can make anything together if we have the right recipe. Ethan chuckled, glancing at Maya, who blushed softly. Ethan, she's right, sweetheart. Months later, at a charity gala, reporters asked Ethan Steele what had changed in his life. Why did the once cold, ruthless tycoon now smile so often? He only gave a small, knowing smile and answered, Ethan, because I learned the most important lesson of all. You can build an empire with money, but you can only build a home with love. And somewhere in the back of the room, Maya watched him with quiet pride, knowing that the real fortune he had discovered was not in his bank, but in his heart.